What's it like to think like Fidel Castro? Almost 22 years ago, I was at a conference in Halifax, Nova Scotia. One of the contributors to this was a high school classmate of Fidel Castro who told the following story to me. Fidel Castro invented a game at the Catholic high school, all-boys high school, where he went in eastern Cuba. So he invented a game in which had the following characteristics. Find a bicycle, establish some distance, a quarter mile maybe, between where the bicycle begins with a rider and a brick wall. Can't be covered and no padding, it's just brick. The goal is to be the last person standing. Bloodied, have to be bloodied. No blood, you can't win this game. But if you crash into the wall, going full speed, are thrown over the handlebars of the bike, into the brick wall, and you get up, you go to the next round. A lot of people will stop. A lot of people will sort of ease their way, slide into it. The person who is willing to sacrifice the most, who is willing to take it to the limit, maybe to die, in principle, smash his skull against a brick wall, that guy wins the game. This guy said Fidel Castro never lost this game. He refused to lose this game. He would go, if it was a tie, they had to go to overtime. They had to do it again, over and over again. Fidel, undefeated, world champion, suicide bike driver. That personality then became the leader of revolutionary Cuba on January 1, 1959. In the Cuban Missile Crisis, as it happens on what became the last weekend of the crisis, Castro felt that Khrushchev did not have the courage to take it to the limit, take it all the way to nuclear war and to destroy the United States. He felt this. He had seen it happen a couple of days before when Khrushchev had ordered his ships to turn around when they got to the blockade line, the quarantine line, and he wondered, does that man have the kind of courage to deal with the Americans? Khrushchev sort of lacks that certain something that, were Khrushchev a Cuban in the old days, would have also led him to want to smack his face into a brick wall to see if he could be the last bloody person standing in this game. He writes a letter to Khrushchev thinking that he needs to encourage him not to worry about Fidel, not to worry about the Cubans, that they are willing to go all the way. They are willing to martyr themselves for world socialism. They are willing to hit that wall, to bleed in that wall, and to go down and to die at the foot of that wall, quote unquote, if necessary. If Khrushchev will pledge that in the event of an invasion, in the event of a Cuban essentially suicidal attempt to defend their island from American nuclear weapons, if Khrushchev will say to him, that's fine, thank you for that kind of pledge, that we really appreciate that. Yes, we will attack the United States in the event of an invasion of Cuba. We will try to destroy it once and forever. If that's what's required, Comrade Fidel, then yes, we'll do it. Well, he never got that response. Instead, he got a response from Khrushchev that went something like this. Oh my God, have you lost your mind? Well, that was deeply disappointing. That Khrushchev, if he were to gone to Fidel's high school, would have been one of the first chickens to drop out of the bicycle game. And then Fidel had to admit that he was left basically with nothing. He knew the Americans were coming, and now he knew that the Soviets were going to back off, that it was all kind of a game, and that they were going to take their weapons and go home.